Hello everyone, this is Bichao and welcome back to my channel. Now today we are going to have a look at a very underrated and understated car, the Skoda Yeti. A huge shout out to Tejas Manke, the owner of this car, who took a pain of driving all the way from Nasik to Pune to give me a hands-on with this car. You can follow him at the Yeti Project Car. I have linked his Instagram profile down in the description below. Now, I believe that some cars are truly ahead of its time. Like, for example, in 2010, when the international market had already warmed up to the concept of compact crossovers, India was still behind cars which were bigger in size, like the Innova and the Fortuner. And it's only in recent times where India has grown a liking towards compact crossovers, and now everyone seems to want them, including myself. So when Skoda brought the Yeti to India, it was a little ahead of its time. Combine that with its quirky looks and the fact that Skoda never brought the cheaper 1.2 and 1.4 litre engine variants to India, the Yeti was a very low success, and it mostly failed, where people generally opted to go for the larger Skoda Laura instead of the Yeti. That said though, the Yeti was actually a very good car to buy back then, and even today it offers an exceptional value in the used car market. These days you can pick up a Yeti for as low as 4 lakh rupees, and the best part is yet to come. Since Skoda has just launched its new Kushaq, which is going to be priced starting at 10.5 lakh rupees, there is a huge expectation that the Yeti prices are going to drop a little even further, which makes this a very tempting car for what all it offers. That said though, buying a used car is not with its own set of problems, and we are going to go through some of those problems concerned with the Yeti in this video. What Indians failed to realize back then was actually that the Yeti was a very feature heavy car, and because of the way it was designed, it was a lot roomy on the inside as well, and because of its square doors, getting in and out of the car was also incredibly easy. Sorry for the wind noise, but unfortunately this place has a lot of wind. But what I want to show you is, when you come over here to the back, you see that it's got this massive tailgate, which means that loading big items inside is also very easy. And then you get to the boot space, which over here is quite a lot. I mean, there is already a lot of stuff, and this is all Tejas's stuff, and I asked him on purpose to keep it over here to sort of give you an idea the amount of room this place has. These guys currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags and a skateboard, and hang on a second, there's also another bag over here which we can throw back in here. Go again in the front, pick up one more bag, put that also over here, and you still have a lot of space where you can keep another maybe 4 or 5 bags in here of this size before you have to remove the parcel tray. So this is an actually immense boot for the car of this size, where it can actually carry a lot of stuff. And if you want to increase your luggage carrying capacity, well, it's as simple as just dropping down the front seats, which are foldable on both sides in split configuration, and create more space for you. Let me show you how that works. And as you can see back over here, getting in and out of this car is also very easy because of the size and shape of its doors. Apart from that, you also get tremendous amount of room over here at the back, where you have this insane amount of headroom. You have really good amount of legroom. This seat in front is positioned at my height, which is 5'8", and still I have a lot of legroom over here. So I guess if you're a person who's up to 6'5" or 6'6", which is very rare, you will still find yourself very comfortable. Apart from that, back over here you have a 3-seat layout, where the center seat can actually be folded down to create an armrest, which also has these cup holders. And also these seats can move front and back, but at the same time give you recline as well. And if you want to create more space for luggage, then you just get out, and all you need to do is drop these seats down to get a almost flat floor, which will kind of double your entire boot space. And if you want to go even further, well, then you can just put your hand down over here and tumble these seats ahead in one simple push. Now I'm coming over here inside because there's a lot of wind outside, and I'm sure you guys will not be able to hear me. But as you see, I have tumbled the seat, and now if I want to go even further, although not many people will be using this feature, but if you want to go further, there are clips over here which you can pull, and you can completely remove the rear seats, which will create this entire area of storage for you at the back of the Yeti. And back over here at the front, the Skoda Yeti yet again offers a lot of practical as well as useful features, including the scroll type wheels on the steering wheel. Then it also has this digital information cluster which shows your trip settings as well as vehicle information display. Then you also have a tilt as well as a telescopically adjustable steering wheel. You have dual zone climate control in here. Then you also have this very quirky looking button for the fan speed adjustment. And along with that, you also have two cooled compartments over here inside, where the glove box is cooled, and also the center console gets a small cooled compartment. So people who are sitting at the back don't need to reach all the way to the front glove box for their cooled items, but they can instead store it over here in the center. And with how things are always with Volkswagen Group products, the Yeti also feels very, very robust and very sturdy in its build quality and the choice of materials used over here on the inside, which sort of gives you that feeling that this car is not only good today, but this car maybe even will take you into the next decade without many problems. Along with that, the base variant of this car also got a 5-star safety rating, and if you got the top end variant, well, then you would have got 6 airbags across the car. And along with its rain sensing wiper, this car has a feature that is even hard to find in luxury premium cars to this day. This car has automatic rain sensing window close, which means that whenever the rain sensor understands that there's a little bit of water here or there, it will automatically put all the windows up. How cool is that? But that's not all, because the Yeti was even way ahead of its time when it came to its driving experience. And to check that out, let's head out on the road and see how it drives. Now first things first, the Yeti came to India in two variants, both of them powered by a 2-liter engine. The first variant was a 4x2, which was given a 5-speed gearbox and 110 horsepower, and the other was a 4x4 variant that was given a 6-speed gearbox and 140 horsepower. And this car that we have with us is the top of the line 4x4 variant, putting out 140 horsepower. And this car, even after such a long time, feels absolutely amazing to drive. And the best part I'm going to tell you now is that this car has done 180,000 kilometers and it still feels great to drive. Out over here, when you're doing off-road, this car still has a lot of ground clearance to easily cover and go over most of the places, most of the bad roads. And the best part is that even after such a prolonged use, this car still doesn't have any rattles, any squeaks, or any sort of noise coming from the interior of the car. It's pretty incredible. Now when you're taking off, the clutch does feel a little heavy, but then what I have read, I have not driven the 4x2 model, but what I have read is the 4x2 model has a slightly lighter clutch in comparison to the 4x4. But then again, once you're past second gear and you have momentum, again the clutch becomes pretty normal. The gear shifts are very nice to drive. And when you want to have a little bit of fun, you can always drop down a gear and you'll get that sudden burst of torque from the diesel engine, which is in this case giving 320 Newton meters of torque, and it pushes you nicely into corners. And since it's a Volkswagen product, you don't get a lot of steering feedback, but that's okay because the chassis itself gives you so much of feedback. It stays very, very flat and you know exactly what's going on underneath you. And the best part is that even after having such a tall car with so much of room where you can actually throw in your entire family, this car can still take corners and handle them really, really well with a lot of precision. Man, this car still makes so much of sense to buy. If you're out in the market and if you're looking for a practical car which can carry a lot of load and which can carry a lot of luggage and also a lot of people, while at the same time be decent fun while driving, I think you need to not look any further than the Škoda Yeti. Even on such surfaces where the road is not exactly very flat, the car keeps its composure. It keeps the body quite flat and stuck to the ground, which gives you a lot of confidence when you're going and driving this car fast around corners. And also same time the car feels light and it feels very maneuverable. Trust me, when you're sitting in here and driving this car, from no angle does it feel like you're driving a big crossover. It feels like you're probably driving any other sedan. It's a good car. It's a genuinely good car to drive. Now, as I said before, not everything is perfect when you're looking to buy a used car, and that is exactly the same case even with the Yeti. So here are a few things that you need to keep in mind when you're looking for a Škoda Yeti in the used car market. The first thing you need to check in the Škoda Yeti is its water pump. If the water pump has been recently replaced, well, then there is not much to worry about. Although, if the water pump has not been replaced, then you have to look for leaks. If the leaks have been recently caught, then you can save yourself some money and worry. But if the leaks have not been caught and it has affected the timing kit, well then you can expect a cost of anywhere between 25 to 30,000 rupees. If you're looking for a 4x4 model, well then that comes with a Halidex clutch type differential at the back, which needs service and oil change every 4 years. Do check on the car's service and previous past records. If the oil has been changed regularly, then it's a good buy. Otherwise, it could lead to worn out clutches and extra cost in maintenance. Also, sometimes there are some issues with the electricals of this car, so you have to thoroughly check if any of the lights are coming on the dashboard. And while you're there, also check if the illumination of the backlight is good enough, because sometimes that does dim out, which means that there is a little bit of a wiring problem. Another common problem with the Yeti is its wheel speed sensor. What that will do is it will throw the ABS or the EBD warning light on your dashboard. Now that is not too much to worry about, because that doesn't cost as much, and if the sensor is gone wrong, a replacement will cost you less than 2,000 rupees. Other than that, just go about checking how you would usually check a used car, where you check the overall condition of the car, check its clutch, and also check for signs of rusting. And if all works well, then you are going to have yourself a machine that is not only versatile in the city but also out on the highway as well as off-road, and it's going to be a machine that is going to be with you for the next thousands of kilometers. I hope you liked this video, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Till then, ciao.